there everybody, this is 22 Tiger Dude, aka Tony here. I know it's very unusual recording when it feels very irrelevant at this point, but this is going to be my top 5 most anticipated movies for the fall winter of 2025. Now, you know, for those that follow these videos on this channel, typically me and my friends, we meet up together to discuss our most anticipated movies for each of the following seasons. It's been something that I have done for over a decade now. And originally, me and my friends, we were going to do this video. We were going to record it the day after Labor Day. And then timing with things just wasn't very great. September, it wasn't really a great month for me. So it's not something where I was in the mental state to do it. But even if though I am doing this late, I do feel at least a little better to do this video. And even though, like I said, and I acknowledge it, it's irrelevant at this point, I just want to keep the tradition going because besides for what happened in 2020, which I don't have to remind what happened in that year, we really have been consistent with putting out these anticipated videos. And I do want to keep it going for as long as, you know, I'm still here and for as long as time allows. But I still figured it could be fun to share what I'm excited for, even if it just means getting 5 views for this video. And I guess before I get into my list, I'm going to get into my honorable mentions first, and then I'm going to get into my list. But, you know, just to keep things, I guess, kind of more fun and interesting, why don't you guys guess right now? I want you to comment, you know, before we get into this video, what do you predict will be my most anticipated movie of this summer? Because I don't even think I told any of my friends. I don't even think my friends even know. But if you want to predict that, go ahead right now. If you want to predict my top 5, what do you think are my 5 most anticipated movies? And as far as me making this a YouTube premiere, even though this is not going to be a long one compared to the ones I do with my friends, I guess I could still keep the tradition going and make it a YouTube premiere. So if you are watching this from YouTube premiere, thank you so much for watching this. If you are watching this after the YouTube premiere is done, thank you so much as well. And now we're getting into my honorable mentions. I actually do have a lot of honorable mentions. This is actually the most I've had in a while. But to be fair with you all, the reason I have more honorable mentions is because, you know, when my friends and I do these videos, there's some trailers that don't drop until after we're done recording. And some of these movies do not even get added to my list after we're done recording because studios wait a little too late. So guaranteed, when it comes to this certain movie that is in my top 5, more than likely it would not be my top 5 because the trailer would not have been out had my friends and I actually recorded this video. So to get into my honorable mentions, and there are some of these movies that I have seen, so if I've seen them, I'll just tell you straight off the bat if I've seen them. But here we go. So number 20 is The Lost Bus with Matthew McConaughey and America Ferrera. This tells the true story of the California wildfires in 2018. Just to start off the bat, I already saw this movie, and I thought it was a good movie. It was a good movie. Thumbs up. I recommend it. Number 19 is The Long Walk. I have not seen this movie yet. It looked very interesting to me. Looks very disturbing. I hope I like that whenever I get around to it. Number 18 is Frankenstein, Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein. Number 17 is Marty Supreme, directed by Josh Safdie. Yeah, one of the Safdie brothers directing this one, while the other one is directing another movie that you will see me mention actually in a little bit. Number 16, this is actually a movie that was initially not going to be on my list because when I saw the teaser trailer, it didn't really do anything for me, to be honest with you. It just really didn't do anything. But the full trailer, it sold me, and that is Jay Kelly with George Clooney and Adam Sandler and a whole bunch of talented people in this. Number 15 is Roofman. This movie is written and directed by Derek Cianfrance, who has done movies like Blue Valentine and The Place Beyond the Pines, which I think is just one of the absolute best movies from the 2010s decade. I truly love The Place Beyond the Pines so much. But this is definitely something a little more different for Derek Cianfrance, which I was very much looking forward to. Of course, you got Channing Tatum, you got Peter Dinklage, you got Kirsten Dunst, and I did see this movie in theaters already. I'll tell you straight off the bat that, yeah, I liked the movie. I thought it was good, and something I gotta say I liked about the movie was that even though it's a mainstream movie. It had an indie feel to it. So yeah, it delivered in my opinion. Number 14, as I just mentioned, Safdie, The Smashing Machine, with Dwayne Johnson, Emily Blunt. I thought this movie looked very interesting. Dwayne looks really, really good in this, and it is nice to see him challenge himself as an actor. So whenever I get around to The Smashing Machine, I do hope I'll enjoy it. Number 13 is Christy with Sydney Sweeney. I heard about this movie, but my first time watching the trailer for this movie was actually not until I got a YouTube ad. The trailer sold me. I think Sydney Sweeney looks like she'll be pretty good in the movie too, so I hope that one will be good. Number 12 is Light of the World. I don't know how many people are aware of this one, but it's an animated movie about Jesus and his story, and I personally do really want to see it. The animation looks absolutely breathtaking. I didn't get around to seeing it, but I will eventually. Number 11 is Haul Out the Halloween. For those of you going, wait, what the heck is this movie? It's a Hallmark movie. I have never really mentioned Hallmark movies because most Hallmark movies I typically watch around the Christmas season with my mom. It's just a tradition that me and my mom have. We watch Christmas Hallmark movies or Christmas Lifetime movies. But Haul Out the Halloween is one of the rare Halloween movies that Hallmark has actually done that I can recall, and I was really looking forward to it because I actually like the first two, Haul Out the Holly and Haul Out the Holly Lit Up. I think they're fun, silly movies, and what I like about those movies is that they're not really like your traditional romance movies like most Hallmark movies are. They actually play out more as silly comedies, and the romance is more of a side thing to these movies. Yeah, I really did have a lot of fun with this one. The only thing that did bother me was that Kimberly J. Brown from Halloween Town, she appears in this, and I was really looking forward to that, but unfortunately she was underutilized. So that was the aspect I was the most disappointed by. But everything else about Haul Out the Halloween, I thought it was just as silly and just as fun as the first two. Number 10 is Eternity with Miles Teller and Elizabeth Olsen. I can't wait to see how the story plays out personally with this one. Number 9 is Wake Up Dead Man, the third Knives Out movie by Rian Johnson, and of course starring Daniel Craig. This one looks really fun. I really enjoyed the first Knives Out, and I really enjoyed Glass Onion as well. So I hope this one could maintain that same fun level. I hope I could see this one in theaters. I was lucky to see Glass Onion in theaters, so I hope I could do the same thing with Wake Up Dead Man. Number 8 is The Housemaid, another Sydney Sweeney movie. Shout out to Sydney Sweeney and Amanda Seyfried. This trailer honestly really surprised me. Yeah, wow. I've heard about this movie for a while. I remember when I saw, photos, videos when Amanda, Sydney, and them were starting filming this movie last year. So it's a movie I've been aware of for a while. But when I saw the trailer, I was really taken aback by how psychological it looks. Amanda and Sydney look very good. Paul Feig, who is the director of this movie, his direction looks really good as well. Number 7 is actually a movie that just came to theaters. Springsteen, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Man, Deliver Me From Nowhere. Doesn't that sound like the title of a horror movie? I know I'm not the first person to think that. Bruce Springsteen, I love his music. Jeremy Allen White, he's a very good actor, and I think he looks like he's going to really bring Bruce Springsteen to life. So I am looking forward to Springsteen. And then just missing my top 5, a movie I already saw in theaters, Tron Ares. Tron Ares, I saw a teaser trailer and I thought it looked awesome. The visuals and the music. Of course, I was hoping the story would be very good too, but when I saw a teaser trailer, it did honestly get me excited. I didn't really want a Tron 3 personally because I just thought Tron Legacy, which I still stand by, is such a good movie. I thought it ended things nicely, but I saw that teaser trailer and yeah, it sold me. And yes, you have Jared Leto in here, which, yeah, I know as a person, we're not going to really talk about that. But as an actor, I'm not going to get on the hate train with him. He is a genuinely talented actor. But yeah, Tron Ares, I actually did see this one in theaters. I did a double feature of this one and Roofman, funny enough. And, you know, visually fantastic. Music, great. Story, yeah, not so good. It's not so good, the story. But yeah, that would have been my number 6. But now let's finally get to the main meat of this video, which is my top 5. Not gonna lie, it kind of feels weird doing this solo. I'm so used to doing this with my friends. But you know what they say, the show must go on. So let's get into number 5. So coming in at number 5 is Now You See Me, Now You Don't. Even though you can clearly see me. After waiting nearly a decade, because the second Now You See Me came out in 2016, the third Now You See Me is finally here. And I was curious how the trailer was going to go, because when you wait a long time to make a sequel, you just do not know how something's going to turn out. It could look good or it could look not so good. So, of course, I just wanted to wait to see how the trailer for Now You See Me 3 looks. But at least personally for me, I think this looks like a lot of fun. It's doing that thing where you're bringing in the new cast, but you're also reuniting the OG cast as well. And they're pulling off this heist together. And I do really like that they're bringing that formula to this third installment. The first Now You See Me genuinely is such a fun movie. I really do enjoy that one a lot. I really like the chemistry between the 4 horsemen. I like the magic tricks, and I just thought there were a lot of fun moments in that one. And that one does hold a special place in my heart because it was the first advanced screening I've ever got to attend. So that movie will always hold a special place in my heart as the first advanced screening I've ever got to attend. Now You See Me 2, I don't think it was nearly as good as that first one, though. I really did not like Now You See Me 2. I saw it once in theaters way back in 2016, and I just never ever had the urge to ever go back and see it again. But I do think this third one looks like it could actually bring the franchise back up. And I am glad that we have Jesse Eisenberg and Isla Fisher and Woody Harrelson, Dave Franco, and Morgan Freeman back for this. It's going to be really nice to see them. And Dave Franco, he's been slowly popping back up in movies again, which I really enjoyed seeing because I kind of felt like he disappeared for a while. But it's really nice to see Dave Franco slowly coming back to movies again. Yeah, I think it has all the potential, all the makings to be a fun third installment. I hope it's not the quality of the second one, and I hope it could be more of the quality of the first one, because if it is more of the quality of the second one, then that's going to mark this as one of the biggest disappointments of this year for me. So I'm really rooting for this one to be good and not disappointing. But the trailers have shown a lot of promise for me, and it's gotten to a point where, you know what, I'm going to put this in my number 5. So that's why it is my number 5. Coming in at number 4, John Candy, I Like Me. Okay, so I already saw this movie, but I'll go ahead and tell you my expectations before I tell you what I thought of it. So when I saw the trailer for this one, of course, John Candy, like with many people out there, we enjoy the charisma that he brought to his movies, the heart that he brought to his movies. It's something that I've always loved about his movies. He really was just such a nice, big, sweet teddy bear, and I miss that. And it's sad that he died as young as he did. You know, 43, it may not seem like a young number to some, but it really is such a young number, and it makes me sad that he's no longer in this world anymore. And it's kind of crazy to think but if John Candy was still alive, he would have been 74 years old. But of course, with how much I do adore John Candy and just how much I really enjoy his movies, Uncle Buck, Planes, Trains, Automobiles, you name it. But when I saw the trailer dropped on my TV right here, I automatically clicked on it, and I was very moved by the trailer. And you get people like Steve Martin to come and talk about John Candy. You get Bill Murray, all these people that have had such fond, close memories with John Candy, and of course John Candy's family talking about him as well. And after seeing the movie, to give you my quick thoughts on it, it definitely lived up to my expectations. I thought it was a very well done documentary. Obviously, it showed the highs of John Candy, and it showed the lows, his struggles. Obviously, those were very sad to watch, but you know, they kept it honest, which that's what a documentary should do. They should keep it honest, and I did feel that honesty. But I felt the heart, and you really do feel how much these people truly care about John Candy, whether it be his family or his friends. You really feel how much John Candy has truly left an impact on them. And I definitely felt that impact while watching the documentary. So yeah, it's a very good documentary. If you have not heard of it, it's on Prime Video. Please go check it out, especially if you are a John Candy fan. It is my number 4 most anticipated, but like I said, I already saw it, but I still have to mention it. But yeah, it's definitely a thumbs up for me. Really, really liked it. So yeah, John Candy, I like me. Number 3. Now, earlier I had just mentioned that if my friends and I had recorded this video the day after Labor Day, like we initially were going to do, this certain movie unfortunately would not have been on this list because the trailer for this movie was not even out by that point. It dropped around the 3rd week of September. If it wasn't for that happening, I would not be able to say that my number 3 is Anaconda. Yeah, Anaconda. And this is not me trolling. I'm not trying to be funny. My number 3 is Anaconda with Jack Black and Paul Rudd. Wow. This movie, it looks so funny. And I do like that this is a different take on Anaconda. Definitely different from the one in 1997 with Jennifer Lopez and Jon Voight and Owen Wilson. Like, man, I have seen that movie. That movie is truly an experience, but it's a glorious experience. It's definitely a guilty pleasure. And yeah, I just like the angle that this movie is going with Anaconda and Jack Black and Paul Rudd, who I don't think have ever worked together before. Like, I'm really trying to think if they really done anything together. If they have, please let me know in the comments. But I can't recall a movie they've really done together. If this is truly their first time working together, as I'm remembering, then yeah, I think they look like they're going to be a match made in heaven. And of course, we have to also mention Steve Zahn, which the marketing is completely ignoring, by the way. Come on, marketing team. Put some respect on Steve Zahn's name. That's an underrated comedic talent right there. Come on. Do I have to mention him as the dad in the Daughter Wimpy Kid movies? Of course, just name an example. He's done many other things besides those movies, but just to name a big example right there. He's a very talented guy, and I'm actually excited that he's in this with Paul Rudd and Jack Black as well. This movie looks crazy. You definitely do get vibes of Tropic Thunder. Funny enough, another movie with Jack Black in here as well. And I can't wait to see how the craziness is all going to go down. I hope it's very funny. I hope it's not one of those things where the trailer gives away all the best parts. I do think it coming out during the Christmas season is kind of a weird timing. This kind of feels like the kind of movie that could come out in the summer season, maybe like August. I actually think this looks like this could have been like a fun August release. But you know, it is what it is. It's coming out during the Christmas season. I hope I can see this in theaters because I think it could genuinely make for a fun theater experience, and because of how far and few comedy theatrical movies have been as of late. So yeah, number 3, Anaconda. Oh yeah, and respect to the marketing team for including that Anaconda song by Nicki Minaj. That would have been a big missed opportunity if they did not use that song in the trailer. So great job, marketing team. Number 2 is Zootopia 2. I really like the first Zootopia a lot. Obviously, the first Zootopia came out in a decade where Disney Animation was very consistent. Yeah, you know, they've had a few movies here and there where I wasn't crazy about that decade. The Frozen movies and Moana. But really, other than those movies, that decade for Disney Animation was so consistent, in my opinion. Whereas this decade, the 2020s, not as consistent. But watching this trailer, to be honest, the trailers in general, they truly have taken me back to the 2010s era Disney Animation, where they felt more consistent. I felt more of that magic. I felt more of that spark that I've been missing from Disney Animation for quite a while now. And I do hope Zootopia 2 can be that, because at least for what I've been seeing in the trailers, I think Zootopia 2 looks like it could be a very, very promising sequel. I really like the chemistry between Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde in that first movie. I thought the social commentary was handled very brilliantly in that first movie too. And as far as the social commentary with this one, I am kind of curious because it kind of looks like it's going to be repeating the same thing. It's kind of the one element. I'm kind of, I don't know. We'll see how that goes. But I think as far as the adventure goes and as far as the chemistry goes between Judy Hopps and Nick Wilde, I think all that still looks personally spot on. Of course, it's Disney Animation. It's kind of hard to knock on their animation. But yeah, the animation does look very beautiful here. You also have Kiwi Kwan as the snake in this one as well. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to Zootopia 2. I really like the first one, and I hope this one could be just as good as that one. And even if it's not, at least still be a very enjoyable experience. So that is my number 2, Zootopia 2. Okay, y'all, we are now at my number 1. My number 1 most anticipated. Of course, I've told you guys to guess what my number 1 is. If you have guessed it right, congratulations. If you did not, I am very sorry. But here is some invisible candy for you to have to cheer you up. But my number 1 most anticipated movie for the fall-winter season is The Running Man. Directed by Edgar Wright. This movie looks awesome. Wow, this movie looks awesome. And I'll be honest, when it comes to Edgar Wright, he is a hit and miss director for me. He's made some movies that I really loved, that I think are absolutely brilliant. But then he's also made movies that I just don't really care that much for. I can see what he's going for, but they just don't really click for me. So with The Running Man, definitely hope this could land on the hits of Edgar Wright for me, because I think this has all the makings to be absolutely that. Glenn Powell looks like he's going to be very terrific here. This is obviously a very physical role for him. He's going to have to run a lot. Probably do more running than Tom Cruise has done in any of his movies, which is crazy to say because Tom Cruise is known for his running. I guess Glenn Powell said, hold my beer to Tom Cruise with that. Yeah, he looks like he's gonna be really great here. The Running Man, the original with Arnold Schwarzenegger, I have seen that one. I think that one is so much fun. I think that's a really fun movie right there. And this one looks like it's gonna have what the Arnold movie had, but it feels like they're gonna really ask Okay, sorry about that, guys. My card got full on my camcorder, so I had to switch here. But yeah, it does look like this new movie is gonna really take things up to an 11 here. You also got Josh Brolin here as well, who's been having a heck of a year with Weapons and Wake Up Dead Man. So yeah, Josh Brolin is having quite the year, and you know what? Good for him. Good for Josh Brolin. Shout out to him. And speaking of Edgar Wright, Scott Pilgrim, he's reuniting with Michael Cera. Michael Cera is in this one too, and I don't feel like we get enough Michael Cera now these days. So anytime he does show up, it's always a treat. I hope Michael Cera will have enough to do in here. But yeah, the action looks absolutely insane here. The direction by Edgar Wright looks great, and I really like the overall cinematography, the overall aesthetic of it, and the production design of the game Competition too looks really great as well. I really don't think there's anything else for me to really add. This is just a movie that I just genuinely cannot wait to see. I am very excited for The Running Man. I think this movie looks so awesome. I will be so bummed out if it's not at least good. And that is why The Running Man is my most anticipated movie for the fall winter season of 2025, as well as the rest of 2025. All right, everybody, that was my top 5 most anticipated movies of fall winter 2025. Thank you so much if you have watched this. Like I said, I know this video is very irrelevant at this point, so even if it gets 6 views, I'm fine with that. I'm just very grateful to those that do take the time to watch this. It really does mean the world to me. Whether you're watching this from the YouTube premiere or after the YouTube premiere is done, I really do appreciate it. I am very sorry that this is shorter than usual, but it was still fun doing this, and hopefully the next anticipated video we could go back to doing it with my friends, because I personally do enjoy doing this with my friends. Now, normally this is where I would ask you to comment what your most anticipated movies for the seasons are, but we're halfway through the season, so it'd be kind of weird to ask you that. So I'll just ask you, what has been your favorite movie of this year so far? What has been your favorite movie of this year so far? What's the movie that I guess I could ask, are you the most looking forward to for the rest of 2025? For the remainder of 2025, what is the movie you just want to see really badly? And because, as you can see, I'm behind my Halloween decorations. What's your favorite Halloween candy? What's your favorite Halloween candy? What do you like to do for Halloween? You can let me all know that too. Whatever. Yeah, comment whatever. I'll accept anything, honestly. Even if you want to just comment hi, go ahead. I'll happily comment back hi to you too. If you want to follow me on Letterboxd, I do have a Letterboxd account. That's where you can keep up with my movie activity. I also do have Serialized if you want to keep up with my TV activity. And I do got Snapchat, and I do got Instagram as well. This is 22 Tiger Dude here. And don't forget that I will always have Tiger Power.